Peace and blessings, and welcome to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. This episode, we're going to the Midwest to learn about an MC fresh off of a new deal that will distribute his music everywhere, but someone who's all about making sure his community is safe and his rhymes pay dividends. We're talking about IL Boi, one of the newest and freshest voices coming out of the Midwest hip hop scene that you need to pay attention to. Before we get into this interview, we gotta pay our dues. This episode is brought to you by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy and credit repair world. If you're looking to repair your credit, get out of debt, and open your wallet up for much needed money instead of opening up to pay bills, contact Transparent Credit Repair at www.transparentcreditrepair.com, and you can call them at 862-250-5122. Tell them Heritage Hip Hop sent you. Now, after saying that, it's time for us to take our talents to the Midwest to show you and for you to experience an MC that's not only about his lyrics, but the feel and the message of what he's talking about at the same time. See, a lot of music does not have soul or purpose, and IL Boi makes sure he makes music with soul and a purpose. Check out this interview, and I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome back to Heritage Hip Hop. This is Karev, and hip hop is not just East Coast music. Hip hop is not just West Coast music. It's not the South either. That Midwest region has a voice and is very well represented. And I got one of those representatives on the line right now. Please introduce yourself to the people.
Man, what's good? It's the big homie IL Boi, straight out the Midwest. What's going on?
Hey, man, we happy to talk to you. And when we first talked, it was a while ago, and it was good getting a chance to get to build with you. But tell everybody, what is the Midwest, and what makes you Midwest hip-hop?
Man, Midwest is like you see in the game now. You see your Kanye's, you see your Nas's, not Nas's, excuse me, your Nelly's, your Twisters. You know what I'm saying? So that just gives you a feel of the Midwest. But I feel like some guys had great careers and they've done a lot, but I feel like somebody else from the Midwest need to come out, and that's where I'm trying to do my thing and really just put my stamp on it and my Midwest flavor, you know what I'm saying, because I got my roots here right in the Midwest.
That's dope that you said that, because the Midwest has always represented in a way that it can't be taken away. You said Kanye, you said Common, you got Common there, but we can't forget Twister and his unparalleled portion of being one of the GOATs in hip hop, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, then you got your Bone Thugs, you got the Brat, you
right.
got our Kelly from here. I mean,
but freeze, we don't want to talk about them too much. We're just setting the ground for the people who like, well, I don't know them people. Well, if you don't, you got to do your homework, because the plight of hip hop has been pain and identity. And the Midwest has always shown that their identity and their pain is just as relevant as everybody else's. How did hip-hop hit you in the Midwest, and what made you want to step into those boots and walk that walk, though?
Oh, most definitely. I think it's just my genuine love for music. My mom playing Aretha Franklin, playing, timeless records, listening to Jackson 5. And then, I grew to love music, listening to Mary J. Blige, listening to Monica. And then it just branched out, listening to rap, listening to Biggie, listening to Pac. I really was inspired during the Cash Money, No Limit era. And just loving that era and loving what they was doing and buying up CDs and listening to their music. And, I would say that I picked up the pen and was inspired by those guys for sure.
Well, I'm glad you said how the inspiration hit you, because a lot of people from New Jersey, shout out to Jersey because that's where we from, a lot of people thought we would just be New York festive only. When out here, we listen to everybody that's lyrically dope. Whether we compared or we wanted to build, it was always respect to the other side of the nation when it came to rhymes, technique, and skill. How did you build your pen and become an avid writer instead of just somebody who put words down on paper?
I think it just came time with, progression, just trying to learn who I am as an artist, what I'm trying to portray across, and then just sharpening up your skills. Using the rhymezone.com. Working with different syllables. Researching different words. Trying to play around with different patterns until you feel like you perfected a style that you can call your own. So
I was told by a MC that the most important book they ever read was the thesaurus, the
okay.
dictionary, and their book of faith, because that showed them that words not only had meaning, but the spirit behind their words gave power. When somebody listens to your music, what's the feeling? What's the power? What's the meaning that you want to give them so they can feel something instead of just hearing beats and rhymes?
Most definitely. I think when you hear me, you're gonna hear a complete artist. I like to say that I'm a hip hop artist. I'm gonna give you a little bit of this. I'm gonna give you a little bit of that, but I'm gonna keep it in IL Boi perspective, and I'm gonna continue to give it to you that's hot. Like, if somebody else is relevant, I'm gonna be just as relevant, just because I'm gonna create that same music, but it's gonna be in my lane, and it's gonna be through my lens, and people gonna enjoy it.
I'm glad you said artist, because, and everybody knows if you follow heritage hip hop, I am very, very critical on the hip hop culture. And one thing I feel, and you can tell me if you believe I'm wrong, it's fine, I believe there's a lot of participants in hip hop, not a lot of artists. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, man, it's a crazy market. It's very watered down. It's very saturated. So you definitely got to try to get in where you could fit in, but also just kind of looking at who is around. Who is your competition? What are the people listening to, and what are they liking, and just going from there.
I'm glad you said competition, because that's something I don't talk about with many artists, because I don't believe there's a lot of competition. I just believe there's people who's genuinely in your business. You see what I'm saying? Let me put this for instance. I don't think IL Boi has to compete with another artist to be nice. You do that on your own.
Oh yeah,
I
most
think,
definitely.
right. I think the only competition is who will get heard the most. And that's where the BS in the game comes from, because as long as you got something behind you and somebody will always push you, or you don't invest in yourself, you always lag behind. I salute you not only for getting a distribution deal, but always being upfront when it comes to your social media. Why do you think social media is just as important as the rhymes that you put on your tracks?
Hey man, well definitely, man. I think you appreciate the little shout out you just gave me, so appreciate that. I think for your social media is just trying to be the best you and tell your very best story. And how can you do that in an engaging way? We live in a society where people want to see a lot of visuals, but they want to see them in a short amount of time. So how can you be engaging to these people where they will, come back and continue to check on you, or, engaging you where they just may just genuinely like what like you because of what you posted?
Yeah, I think people are just nosy as hell. I don't think people even really like what
Yeah.
they like. You have to tell people what to like. And if anybody thinks I'm wrong, then why is everybody talking about on the radio they don't play good music, they brainwash you? They're telling you what to like. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I like, and I want you to tell me what you like. Let's go back and forth, all right?
Okay.
There's a certain artist from the Midwest who has a song called Spalding. You know who that is, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And on that song, and on that track, the beginning of the track talks about Jordans and things of that nature, but the track is a little deeper. Can you tell me what the track is about?
Most definitely, man. That means you've been doing your homework, man. Sure. Yeah, that's love.
I'm sorry. Let's do that again, because I got interrupted. There was a little noise in the back. Let's tell me
Oh,
about the track Spalding, and what's the message that you were getting into the track from the intro to the track itself?
man, I just I had created a skit to build up to go into the record, and it was just showing our culture, our black people, basically, standing in these long lines, acting crazy over a couple $100 shoes, people getting trampled when the doors open. So just really showing that, that ignorance from us in a sense, a little bit of a mockery in a sense, but also just that we put a lot of value in Jordans in our community. You know what I'm saying? I know too many kids, they're cut up in school, a couple of days, they come back with a brand new pair of Jordans on. So it's just like, man, it's really glorified in our community. You really frowned on if you didn't have a pair of J's. So, it was just a little shot at that.
That's the culture of consumerism, which in 1980s was grafted into the American economy called Reaganomics. And people from even back in the 50s and 40s have books called How to Sell to the Negro. And they would put certain value on things to keep us poor or to keep our dollar a commodity by making us rush to things that were not important. That's why I'm very hard on social media and streaming when it comes to hip hop, because hip hop has become such a commodity and given away for free that people don't really accept the messages or the music itself anymore. How do you feel about that, and how do you make sure your music stays relevant?
Man, I can appreciate a guy like you, man, just from some of the conversation that we've been having so far. So that's dope. But I think you still have to, in terms of still staying relevant, you still have to create music. You got to have, good sound that will still be appealing to people. But how can you put your own stamp on it, you know what I'm saying, in terms of your style, your charisma, your ideas, how you want to do a track to entertain your fans when you're creating. And, you do got to give people a little bit of commercial songs, but when you get those records that you want to talk about something, man, I think just maybe highlighting them a little bit more and doing some more promotion around your campaign to kind of maybe boost it up, maybe depending on whatever it is that you doing, I would say. So really maybe get that visual out there to people.
See, and that's why heritage hip hop for me is such a blessing. And shout out to everybody who supports us, because I believe in Jersey, I always say Jersey first because that's where I'm from, but all over the world, there's plenty of dope artists who are really making music that is for change, that is for the culture, and that is for the people, but their stories are not getting told. And it's those stories that is now coming out with all the different media outlets and social media, so salute to social media for that. But we still have to push to get people heard. In today's society, now police brutality is being heard. People are now seeing that. I hate to say Black Lives Matter because I don't even agree with Black Lives Matter on certain things. And it's not because I don't, support. It's just that I think we're not a commodity. We are people and we're living. And you actually took that stance with an interlude on your album, talking about justice. Tell to me about justice and why you wanted to include that on your album.
Most definitely, man. That was a situation where a young man that I knew, he had been killed by a police officer, and the video, the interlude that you hear is actual live footage of his mother outside of the precinct, protesting, about his death. So I just thought it was something that was very powerful. It was something that was able to relate to the song, and it's a very interesting situation. The kid is Justice Howard, man. You should go check him out. You should go look him up. That happened to him, and him and other young men that I knew definitely inspired the song. So that's how that came about.
Yeah, I mean, that's what hip-hop has always been. Hip-hop has been always the voice of the people and letting the people have their say-so in a world where we were not heard. I want to ask you this question. What is the most important message of hip-hop that you think is not being told by the people in it?
I don't know if I can particularly put a finger on what's not being told. I just think that we need to continue to have more outlets for our music to be heard, because the culture is so different now, and you have different stations like yourself that gives us opportunities to get these interviews and get this exposure. So we just continue to need these different outlets, these different resources, and different platforms, man. And I really think that social media and the way things have gone have really changed the game of it's changed the game tremendously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because without social media, I would never have met IL Boi, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you know, thank God that we have. Salute to the Most High for making things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go to the album 519. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
519 is 14 tracks, 40 minutes and 23 seconds of something that's very bounce heavy and vibe heavy. What's more important for you? Establishing the vibe when the song comes on, or hitting them with that first verse so you know they could get drug in or listen closely to the track itself?
Man, you know, I do like to really try to drive them in with the verse first. Like, man, let me hit them with something. Let me put some on your mind real quick.
All right. When I listen to your music, right, that intro is very bounce heavy, and you really going in. Like, you know, my first 1 million, you know what I'm saying? Like, you bouncing on it, and you're getting people ready for the bounce. But then that verse comes in, and it's like, all right, he's establishing something that really needs to be heard. 2 songs that stood out to me that everybody can get right now on the IL Boi album 519, which is available now on all music stream everywhere. Make sure you go support. Just Be Rapping. Tell me about Just Be Rapping. I just be rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me about that one.
Man, I did not know you were coming to me with that one. I thought you was going to hit me with a total different one, but I love it. Man, I just be rapping, man. I just wanted to talk slick real quick. I just wanted to vibe to the beat, and I just created I Just Be Rapping, and it's just kind of like a little slick talk, you know what I'm saying? Let them know I really be doing this.
See, that's the point. But see, that's the part of an artist. Because the artist could talk about himself and what he does, but then an artist could go into his life and tell you about who he is. KRS-One said, a rapper raps to you, an MC could rap about your life to you. And when I hear songs like Shadows, that talk to me about life. What was the message of Shadows?
Man, just you always got somebody trying to overshadow you. You always got your shadow yourself. You're always also fighting with yourself. So within you fighting within yourself, you have trials and tribulations, you know. So that's why I was able to speak on that a couple times, you know, through the song. But yeah, just overall, you dealing with your own shadow, then you got people on the sideline of your shadow. So yeah.
See? And that's what makes hip hop so dope. And why I enjoyed 519 is because the layers of a man are the story of his experience. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's your favorite food, bro? What's your favorite food?
Man, I could eat some authentic tacos every day.
All right, now wait, real tacos or the American tacos? You like Mexican tacos? You like, you know what I'm saying?
I need the cilantro, I need the onions, you know, I need all of that.
Okay, now listen to what you said. I mean, that was dope. Continue. You need cilantro, you need onions. Go ahead. What else you need?
I need the green sauce all on there.
Ooh. What kind of meat?
Oh, yeah, steak, of course.
Oh, you like steak tacos. Okay.
Either one. We'll do them all. We'll do beef. We'll do them all.
Okay. IL Boi likes tacos.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
talk about the track Brand New. Now,
okay.
the meat is the subject matter. The actual tortilla is the beat. But the cadence, the ad libs, the snares, Those are the cilantro, the onions, the green sauce. That's called flavor and presentation. What makes an IL Boi track dope and presentable so that somebody always wants a bite of that taco or that track and not run to anything else?
Oh, because I'm going to give you a great song. Every time you're going to get great production from me. You're going to get a crisp sound. You're going to get a quality sound. And I'm going to give you a nice hook. I'm going to give you some nice lyrics. I'm going to give you something to put on your mind from time to time. I'm going to ride the beat. I'm going to bring great features on. I'm going to give you great music.
How do you feel about music? Because I believe hip-hop is full of tracks and not full of music. Do you agree?
Repeat that one again.
I said, like, me personally, I don't think I think hip-hop is missing music. I think hip-hop is full of tracks and not full of music. Do you agree?
I would say yes, because you know what? My engineer, shout out to my engineer Dynasty. We always be in the studio and we be working, and he said a track is all about filling up that air. So when we get in the studio, we be putting a lot of crazy stuff behind the beat. Like if some of my fans could hear some of the stuff that's actually behind the beat, they would be like, wow, I never heard that. But my engineer, you know, he going to bring it up just to bring just enough presence in the track. But the consumer will never know, you know what I'm saying? So he always taught me it's always about putting layers and layers. You can put many layers as you want on a record because it's about filling up that air. So
I'm glad you said that, because my definition of hip-hop or music when it comes to hip-hop is the fullness of a sound and the harmony of rhythm. Where a lot of tracks now have dead air, what I call ghosts. If you hear a ghost in the beat, it's like air. It's like it's talking to you. It separates the sound. You know what I'm saying? And with that, shout out to the engineers who actually know what the hell they're doing, because a lot of people don't have too many ghosts in their tracks. But it's about when you make that perfect harmony that the beat and the feel either makes the MC better or the MC highlights the beat. How do you know when to pick your beats, and how do you know when your sound is good so you're not rapping against the beat or the beat's not bopping against you?
Well, first off, transitions that I have made, not just here too recently, but guys need to get their track outs for these beats, man, and really zone in on owning these outright, because I fell victim to it many times, you know, MP3 wave files. If you're dealing with a real deal engineer, man, he wants full command of that beat. You know, an MP3 is a compressed beat with everything that's on there. But a track out, every instrument, you know what I'm saying, for those who don't know. And the person who made the beat might not even have these instruments mixed or mastered. So now the engineer you working with, he get full control. So really just making sure you're recording your music that way. And I know a lot of artists that I work with and talk to, independent artists, they still doing the MP3s and they still doing the waves. So they really need to get off that, and they're going to enhance their music. They're going to enhance their sound.
So are you telling me that IL Boi wants to go back to the analog sound and get away from digital?
Man, I'm just telling them, man, you gotta get some track outs. You gotta get some track outs, man. You want every instrument, man. You want your engineer to have full control so he can do what he can do for you.
You know what's brave about you as an artist? I'm gonna just tell you something from my personal. This is me talking. This is no interview. This is real. The thing about you that stood out to me is the unreleased tracks from 519 that you packaged, which I was like, that's dope. Because he actually put an album out, and the stuff that didn't make the album, he threw it out there to see if people would bite on it. And I gotta say, I love Cream. Cream is a dope song.
That's
right?
what's up.
And the reason why I like Cream, because if it was on the album, it kind of would have killed the vibe of it. But being the first song on the unreleased tracks joint, it set the tone for something, and it showed that you have a different sound. You are a very capable artist that can flow on more than one type of track. What is your dream track, though, as far as beat? Are you a 1/4 or 1/8 or 1/16? Are you a smooth guy? Like what beat really personifies you?
Man, I like a lot of Southern beats, man. So uh, I'm open to listening to a lot of different sounds from the South, just because, again, that whole Cash Money, No Limit era. I think it's in my music, and I love Southern beats, man. But I like finding good quality sound beats that I could present to people, and to really try to create a good song that everybody could really enjoy. But them trap beats, and I really love all those type of beats, them South beats. So
Now, see, there's a track that you did called Flight to Mexico.
yes,
And
sir.
when you said you like Southern beats, that's a Southern beat flow that you had on that. I'm thinking like, since you saying Cash Money, you like that Manny Fresh with you like the strings mixed with the bass, mixed with a little hi-hat, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, oh
That's
yeah,
you? Okay,
yeah.
okay. See, now we connecting, because now I got a little understanding, you know what I'm saying? Because I like Southern beats myself. Suave House, 8-Ball MJG, all day,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
oh
So,
yeah.
I get you, so salute to Southern hip-hop, no doubt. Back to the point of the matter, though, is the funny thing about hip-hop nowadays is everybody wants to be dope, but everybody can't be dope. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you some background to that, because I don't want to be confusing the people who listening. What I mean by everybody can't be dope is because, once again, there's too many people who are doing music just to make a quick buck and not really loving the art of the music. If IL Boi could paint the canvas of hip-hop, what are you making? What are you going to put on that canvas to show everybody that this is hip-hop from your perspective?
Man, just about like everything that we've been talking about, like the records that you talked about, the So Dumb, you know, Spalding joint. We ain't touch on it, the Begging joint, Cream. Just different songs. If people do their research like you, I see, and they just take a listen to me, they'll see that I'm actually saying a little bit more than what they think. So
Yeah, I mean, artists have to have a message. See, Nina Simone said it is an artist's duty to represent the times that they're living in with their music. Today's times right now, we're going through a change. Are you a Bible believer, bro?
most definitely.
All right, so the book of Revelation always talks about, I'm going to say this, and it probably get me, look screw face with a lot of people, don't care. But I was always taught when I was younger that the book of Revelation was like a book that nobody could get. It was a book of mystery. But as you mature and you study your word, you realize that the book of Revelation is the translation of another book. And in it didn't talk about the end of the world. It talked about the end of the age for a new world to come in. Hip hop gave people the opportunity to express the end of something bad to come into something good. Now that the world is changing, where will IL Boi put his music to make sure that he changes with the world and not be a victim of it? Where would you want to see your music played or hear it so you know that you're transcending the block and going to the world?
Man, I just want my opportunity for my music to be heard on all platforms, all over. I want everybody who thought about wanting to listen to me, looked at it, wanted to see what it was about. I just want to be able to have that opportunity to just be able to have them be able to listen to my music. Talking about changing the world, man. We got a record right now coming out about the injustice that's been going on with George Floyd right now. It's a super dope record, man. Some people who personally know me, they might be like, man, I wasn't expecting this record to come from you, or you'd expect to say some of this and that. So it's interesting that you said that, but I'm gonna have to get that one over to you, man. It's hot like fish grease, and we got a video coming real soon. So
Yeah, shoot me the video and I'll put it on our website. Everybody who doesn't know if this is your first time listening to us, www.heritagehiphop.com. Heritage Hip Hop brings you your new favorite artists that you have not been introduced to yet. So stay tuned. More so, though, I'm glad that you said that people don't expect that of you. That is the mark of manhood. Because as a man, and I don't know how old you are, don't tell me, it's not my business right now. But as a man, at this age, you're not the man that you were becoming when you were 16, 17, 18 years old. Just the same way, as a man, you're supposed to be a hypocrite to many people because people will always see you for one thing and you raise their levels by being knowledgeable of yourself and being the man that you were meant to be, purposed to be, or destined to be. How has your growth in life made your pen game better in your experience?
Man, I think just continuing to go through our life, just life experiences, dealing with people, dealing with family, dealing with people you thought was your friends. It just gives you perspective. It gives you things to fuel the mind in a sense, like this situation happened to me. Oh man, now I got the pen out, so man, I can touch on that for a minute. Let me give him a bar and give him like this real quick. So, just life, man, just life, just continue to help you, develop the pen, as long as you're going through something. Unfortunately, I always be having a situation, so,
Okay, let me ask you this question. I ask R&B singers this question. I'm gonna change it up for you because you have more dialogue in your music and subject matter. Okay. I, I always ask R&B singers, what's the more powerful song to sing, love or pain? For hip hop, that's a very unfair question because hip hop came from pain. So my question to you is, what's the more powerful record in your opinion? Is it the song with the message, the story rap, or the bars?
So I think I would maybe say a story just because being a true fan of like Soulja Slim, Lil Boosie, I was listening to them guys when nobody was listening to them for a long time. And I think the reason I really love those guys is because when I'm hearing their song and they're talking about a story in particular, they just tell it so well. They just spit it so raw. It's just like, man, he did that. Yeah, he did that. He really talking about that. Like, and I was always able to connect with Boosie music and, Slim music like that and a few other artists. It's like, man, them dudes really talking about what they talking about, like, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a nice little beat going over it. Okay, yeah, it's nice.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you this then, because of what you said was very important. See, I'm going to say something. You just tell me what you think. I think IL Boi has the potential to lead movements, but the movement has to understand IL Boi. Is that correct?
Most definitely.
And the reason why I say that is because we have a saying in American history called "the blank is mightier than the sword." What's mightier than the sword, my man?
You lost me for a minute. I had just a blank.
All right, well, there's a saying in America where we say the pen is mightier than the sword, right?
Okay.
Every MC has the right and the ability to learn, teach, and lead by the pen. And unfortunately, people wanted to be Jay-Z and Biggie Smalls so much that they forgot their pens and just wanted to talk. But the pen is what not only gives you your power, but it gives the people historical reference to always go back and learn from you.
Most definitely.
When somebody listens to your lyrics, how are you raising them and starting your movement?
I think when you speak about in terms of raising our movement, the pen gonna speak for itself in terms of your music. I feel like nowadays people gonna like you or they're not gonna like you. It's just getting that opportunity to be able to get out here to these platforms so you can be heard. But I think it's interesting when you said about our movement and being who we are, besides me just doing this hip hop and doing that stuff, I am still a man of Christ. I am a man of my community, and I think when these people get in these positions and they start making this good money, it's still important for people to see exactly who you is. And when we get in that position, I'm gonna still show everybody that I'm still exactly who I am. I'm still for my community. I'm still a father. I'm still a friend, and I'm for progression. You know what I'm saying? So.
Word. Shout out to you. Fatherhood is a big deal. And they try to paint men of color as we run away from our children, and men of color actually hold our children down. So salute to you for that. One thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said I'll never run.
That's what's up, yo. Salute to you. See, one thing that hip hop does that the world could not do with other forms of music is hip hop brought the world together. It brought the world together so much that social change came from it. See, soul music is the father, to me, of hip-hop because soul music gave us our first mixtapes and albums that were socially conscious, not R&B music, soul music. You said your mom played Aretha Franklin when you were younger, and that helped you appreciate music. Who was the artist that helped you appreciate yourself as you made your music?
I would say that again, really Slim, and it's another rapper that was with No Limit. He's been incarcerated for a crime they didn't commit. His name was Mac. I just really love those guys, man, and it really helped me just elevate my pen and elevate my game. You know what I'm saying? And love them guys. Yeah, so really think that helped.
Hey, so I don't want to close this interview out yet, but we're coming to the end of it. And before we do, I would like for you to drop your social media and tell everybody how to get your music and how to support the movement.
www.ilboy.com for all your needs. www.ilboy.com. Go ahead and sign up. I got a newsletter. I've been interacting with everybody every week, letting everybody know like everything that I got going on a week-to-week basis. So ilboy.com. It's got my Facebook. It's got Instagram. Everything. Yeah.
See, you know what I like about what you just said? You're one of the few artists that we have on who have their own website and refer people to the website, not people to everything else, which I'm going to touch on with you as we continue. But before we continue, everybody out there listening, once again, this is Karel from Heritage Hip Hop, and IL Boi is an MC that's making moves, not just to make movement. He's making moves not only to change lives, he's making moves to make a difference in your life as an artist. So if the music is good, you have a song that you like, please spend the dollar, buy the song. If you hear the album and you like the album, please take the money out and buy the album. We buy so much stuff that's irrelevant. By buying the music from an artist, not only do you sow into their talent, you ensure yourself more music and you're showing them that they have a base that cares. So please keep the music alive and be hip-hop without your phone. Because if all the social media platforms died in one day and you couldn't use your phone, if you don't have your music, you really are not as hip-hop as you think you are. So support the artist. All right?
Love it.
Now, with that being said, we're going to go into our rapid-fire questions. These are not yes/no questions. I already know what you like to eat, but I don't really care about what you watch on TV, what your favorite color is, or something like that, because that's really corny to me. What I really like is to know who you are as a man, show the world your depth, and get them to understand you and understand your music with that. So you ready to go?
All right, let's do it.
All right, so the question number one. What song or album perfectly defines you, and it's a song or album that you never made?
It's a song that somebody else made that I never
Yep.
made.
Yeah, you never made this song. It's something that somebody else made, a mainstream artist, whatever. It doesn't matter. What album or song from them perfectly defines you in your life?
Lil Boosie, you don't know my struggle.
Okay. The struggle The struggle of a man gives him character. So by listening to your music, you're telling me that not only are people going to know your character, but they're going to build their character off of your experience, correct?
Most definitely.
I love that. I love that answer because so many people I've talked to are just so vague in their music that they just like, y'all just make music. You know, like, come on, yes, you have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Here's something I want to ask you though. Can somebody be hip hop without their phone or social media nowadays?
Well, then, man, you better have your songs downloaded. So if your servers go down, then they already on your phone, man. Cause man.
So I want to ask you this. What's the drawback of social media when it comes to you as an artist as opposed to a help?
I think the drawback is just that, like I said, the game is just so saturated. It's just so watered down. So many different things going on out there for people to have to go through and decipher. So, definitely, this is just a watered down game for sure.
I think you're smarter when it comes to business than a lot of people in the industry are, because we believe in middleman culture when it comes to hip hop. And middleman culture is, yo, I got an album out. Check it out on. Yo, I got an album out. You can find it here instead of people presenting it themselves. What do you think would change if the middleman culture was taken out of the game and people interacted directly with the artists and the fans?
Oh, you might have some crazy stuff going on out here, man, because, just talking to a lot of these independent artists and, some that thinking they on their grizzly, they on their grind, they don't be having a lot of things in order. And sometimes some of these people that are in the middle can be a benefit to you. And then, you got the other ones who will do you greasy, who are in the way. But you need some of these people while you're maneuvering around that's been in this game that can, guide you in a positive way and something that you can lean on to. But you just got to be mindful because you got some sharks out here, too. So I think you may need it a little bit. It's a little bit, it's got to be a little give and take.
True. Next question. What is the greatest hip-hop beat of all time that you have not rapped to yet?
Soldier Slam, Slow Motion.
Ooh, yeah. When you gonna do it?
Oh, man. Might have to do it now since you put me on the spot. Might have to do it now. Going to laugh, man. Look what I did.
That's what's up. I look forward to hearing it. Real. I really want to hear it, though. Next question. In hip-hop history, the remix has always been a staple where we either changed the beat or added new people on the song to make the song have a longer life and to show our skill and our talent. What is the greatest hip-hop remix of all time to you?
First 1 million, the remix, coming soon.
Okay, there you go. Hey, shameless plug. I'm liking it. Everybody tune in. All right. Next question. Next question, though. Today, one thing I like about your album that I can't say for a lot of people is that you carry the album yourself. I like the fact that you don't have somebody on every song with you. That's dope. Because that shows you're capable and you're somebody who takes your art seriously and you don't need a bunch of people to carry you in a song. So salute to you for that.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Now, the feature, though, is a very important part of hip-hop because when other people did songs with each other, it brought out something that was special back in the day. Even though it's overdone now, it's very pronounced. I want to ask you this. Who has the greatest guest 16 or feature of all time in hip-hop history to you?
Oh, man, you really trying to pinpoint it. That's tough. There's so many great remixes done. I just know that All About the Benjamins, I was thinking about how they flipped that and how they did that and how Biggie did his thing on that, man. That's definitely a classic. Just the first thing that came to mind.
So Biggie is the best feature of all time to you?
I won't say it's the best. I don't think we can say it's the best, but it was one that I felt like was a big one, and it really popped in my mind when you brought up this conversation. I can't. I don't think I can't pinpoint say which one the best, but
that's one for you. I mean, that's cool. I'll tell you a secret. You're the first person who said Biggie when I asked that question. Think about that. It's all right. So, IL Boi has a career that's going to span many years, God willing. What would be your dream track if you had the chance? But check this out. We're going to flip it, though. You get to pick the feature artist and who makes the beat, dead or alive, no limitations. What would your dream track be?
my dream, man. We gotta get my dog. We gotta bring him. Can I bring him back from the dead too? We can bring him back from the dead.
Yeah, let's do it.
Man, we're gonna bring in Slim. We're gonna bring Soldier back, and we're gonna work with his whole team. You know, because
Beats by the pound?
I want to say he had a different group when he. You got to go back and do your research and go listen to years later, a few months after. That whole album to me is a classic. You put it on from beginning to end, and that's when he had his own label, Cutthroat Committee, and he had his own. And yeah, they have some heat on there. So and he did do another record on there with KLC and Beats by the Pound. So yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't work with the Medicine Man. You know.
Okay. Sounds good, man. That's good stuff right there. So, oh man, you just elevated this interview in another way. Let me ask you this question. In the world now, death is so prevalent. Whether people are dying from viruses, police brutality, ageism, racism, fascism, politics, whatever. Death reigns supreme in this world because that's one of the few gods that people in this world will recognize. Death. Why do you think in hip hop a person can't get their roses while they're alive? Why do you think people wait till a person passes to appreciate them?
It's crazy you say that. Just like you know, the early passing of Nip, and you know they said once he passed, dude record just went crazy, you know, and he had been out doing his thing for a while. But I think it's also about the media and the agendas that get pushed, you know what I'm saying, on these different platforms in hip hop as well, you know. So while he was gaining the buzz and he was, you know, popping a little bit more before he passed, like it took, like you said, for him to die, for him to like really get his love, you know. It's just like, man, this conversation can go a lot of different ways, though. You know, it's just like, man, people don't want to genuinely see you do well. I think, you know, and that's unfortunate. You know, you got a lot of people out here that show love, but it's just like, man, it's a lot of people who don't want to see you do well. They won't never say nothing, but they looking. You know what I'm saying? And they looking to see you do bad. They looking to see you not do this, and just not giving you your due credit. You know, like people should.
Sound like that song "Hating" I heard before, huh?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Everybody hated is on the 519 album. Huh?
I said he didn't listen to the album all the way through. I said that's what's up.
Of course. That's how I prep. I would find it very disrespectful if I ever talk to an artist and did not do some type of research or really listen to him, because that means that the person is just having an empty conversation and not valuing your life or your art. So shout out to you and your art. You know what I'm saying? It's not about me.
Shout out to you, man. That's what's up. It's definitely a different interview. Wasn't expecting it, but it's been dope.
All right, true. And unfortunately, we did talk about death, but I'm going to speak on it now. May the Most High bless you so that does not happen to you in your career and you live to see generation upon generations see the benefit of your life, your family, everything. All right?
Most definitely, man.
So with that being said, everybody, we come to the last question, which is the most important question of the interview, which is, unfortunately, IL Boi, you will pass one day. In 2,000 years from now, there's going to be an earthquake in the Midwest. There's going to be a fire, a building's going to fall down, and guess what's going to happen? 2 days after the rubble was gone, a kid's going to walk past that building and see something shining, and they're going to find an ancient artifact called the laptop. And the laptop has an MP3 on it. And they're going to play your music, and then you're going to be reintroduced to another generation of listeners. So my most important question to you is, what is the legacy that you left behind in doing music that made the world better because you existed?
Man, just somebody who showed grit, somebody who showed tenacity, somebody who just was a hard worker, man, and that's why I constantly continue to give you with my music and my work ethic. So somebody with work ethic, somebody with drive and commitment.
So with that being said, everybody, once again, IL Boi is out right now with all music streaming platforms. Streaming is good. Purchasing is better. So if he has music that you like, purchase it and support him. So shout out to him. Shout out to the new music that we're about to get. He owes me 2 songs, I see. And I want to see this man. I want to see this man grow and succeed. So may the Most High bless you and may your career take off. And to everybody out there, we say peace and we out.
Peace, man. Appreciate you.
See, as I told you, IL Boi is a very special MC that not only gives you the real about his life, but he puts his dreams and his aspirations into his music. And I would love for you all to go check out his music and cop that album. The single First 1 Million out right now, but there's depth to his music, and check him out, yo. He's good people. You know what I'm saying? He's really putting himself out there to make a move not only for his family, but for his legacy in his part of the country. Midwest hip hop, y'all got a real one. With that being said, this episode is brought to you by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy and credit repair world. If you're looking to change your credit status and to have more money come into your wallet, please contact Transparent Credit Repair at www.transparentcreditrepair.com, or you could call them at 862-250-5122 and tell them Heritage Hip Hop sent you. Before we get out of here, everybody who loves what we're doing in our content, please support Heritage Hip Hop by becoming members of our website, www.heritagehiphop.com. Members get exclusives and you join our community, which is growing by the day, and we thank everybody for joining us. You can follow our YouTube page, Heritage Hip Hop. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for updates. We're on all social media as Heritage Hip Hop. We also have a store, www.storefrontier.com/Heritage Hip Hop, if you'd like to support us by buying t-shirts and apparel to wear to show your support for the movement. We also have a team that we like to shout out. So shout out to Fatty's Place, our virtual assistant, who helps us make our social media pop. And if you're looking for that type of service, all you have to do is contact Fatty's Place on Instagram at FADDYSPLACE. Shout out to prolific MC and businessman Fire Jaws, who runs Wildfire Marketing, who helps us with marketing, promotion, and placement. If you need help with that, contact them on Instagram at FIREJAWS. Shout out to Lex Diamonds and Big A, part of our Heritage Hip Hop Network with 2 different shows. Lex Diamonds has Diamonds Entertainment LLC, DIEMENZ Entertainment LLC on Instagram, and Big A has the Big A Show on YouTube at AHDAYAR. That's IDR on YouTube. Those are some shows about fashion, sports, entertainment, wild out stuff. And if you like entertainment, check them brothers out because they're doing good things. Everybody out there that supports Heritage Hip Hop, thank you. And remember, hip hop is not music. Hip hop is God within you. So let's celebrate God by fighting for our rights, fighting for freedoms, and fighting to let the music represent part of us, but let the culture be the embodiment of us. We are the legacy of those who came before us, and let's make sure we're celebrating that legacy the way we should, as not only good citizens, but the enduring memory of not only those who fought and died for our rights, but for the generations to come that will celebrate our fight for their rights. And with that being said, this is Karel from Heritage Hip Hop. We say peace, and we're out.